I'm back in the 18th arrondissement of Paris. This is my favorite part of Paris. Yeah, I know that Dalida lived in this area because I did a vlog about her. There's a great cemetery nearby, and then there's a famous big Catholic church, like a cathedral, just not far from where I am. But this place, it's just full of hills. I just had to walk up a huge staircase to get here. Something I don't get to experience much in London. Here we are, Palace Dalida, in honor of the great entertainer. I like the way they've got a mosaic of her up there. Well, maybe that's not her. Anyway, here is the famous bust of Dalida. She was born Yolanda Gilotti in Egypt in 1933, and she sadly took her own life here in Paris in May the 2nd or the 3rd, 1987. As you can see, people have been putting their hands on her bust. I mean, this is like more bronze, but this became gold over time. It's always good luck in Paris, they say, to touch her rack. But yeah, she's such a beautiful woman, but in my opinion, divas only sell millions because, well, they don't write their own music. Unlike, well, Pat Benatar or Anne or Nancy Wilson Hart. They're more rock and roll. Van Gogh also lived in this part of Paris, and he too died tragically. I think Van Gogh's museum or house is up around here in this area. In the Montmartre of Paris, the church is back there, but the cemetery is that way. And you go past the restaurant. They got a good drawing of Dalida right there. Sebastian. This guy, he did it. Give him some credit. Just closing in on the big church in the 18th arrondissement. Yeah. So I mean, even though the cemetery is back behind me, just thought I'd like to come out here and see a bit of the church before I go back to the cemetery. I mean, yeah, it is quite a long walk, but I mean, Paris is a really walkable city. That just like depends on your fitness. And also, I've brought a water bottle with me today so I can refill it. Yes, all the tourists are out and about today on Sunday. I mean, it is still school holidays in Europe. And here we got another street named after Aziz philosopher. I have to look him up when I get there. But yeah, we got the main attraction in this part of Paris is this Catholic church. I'd estimate it has to be at least around 150 years old. It's quite an iconic part of the 18th arrondissement, or pardon my French. Got a guy playing an accordion back there, so I'm gonna give him some money in a minute. But yeah, this is Pretty much a big tourist attraction right here. I don't pay money to go inside churches because I am a man of faith. But if it costs money to get in, then so be it. I'm just going to enjoy it from the outside. Because I do not like tourist traps, okay? Cemeteries are not tourist traps. And so should not, like, religious buildings be. Invaders was here. Look how cool it is. I got mirrors for his irises. Yeah, so how you say eyeballs. I was last year, November last year. This is the front door of Dalida's house. She lived here like 1962 to her death in 1987. So it's a significant part of the 18th arrondissement. It's on Rue de Orchamps. That's how I'm saying it right. Yeah, and it's all like tucked away. Like down an alleyway. That was our house. In a few meters I can get to the big cemetery in Montmartre. I first came here in December 2019 and I visited the grave of France Gale. I didn't give myself the opportunity to go visit where Dalida was. So I came back here last November and I did a big vlog here where I visited Dalida's grave. Now Dalida, her grave is like actually behind those gates over there. But to get to the cemetery, you've got to walk down these stairs nearby. And yeah, like every time I come to the cemetery, I always get lost. I always have to do a like loop. And, like I always can't seem to figure out the main entrance. So it's a bit crazy though. Now it's very bright right here because I'm standing right in front of the sun. But where my finger is, that is where Dalida's grave is. But the main entrance to get to the cemetery, you're best to walk along this road and you'll easily get there. But I had a hard time trying to find Dalida's grave because I had no idea it was like up a hill. Ah, here it is, the main entrance, the Cimetière de Montmartre. Gone through the main entrance in the cemetery. To get to Dalida's grave, as I said, you've got to walk up the stairs. Cemetery is like full of mausoleums. So yes, Dalida's buried the 18th Division. I really should have just stayed in the one hotel for the weekend, so I wouldn't have to carry my bags around Paris for 3 consecutive days. Like, I mean, yesterday was a day of travel, tomorrow's a day of travel as well, because I'm going to South Africa. Things I do for life. Now, this is all familiar territory to me, because I was last here in November, 9 months ago. And even though, like, I'm not a fan of her music, I'm doing this for other people who like her music. Because I know I've got a lot of French friends who like France Gale and I like Dalida. And even though that's not my cup of tea, I'll go out of my way to visit a famous person's grave for all people. Bonjour. Now, after visiting Dalida's grave for the second time, I'm looking for France Gale, and her husband and daughter. I did a little vlog about them a couple of years ago. Her husband, Michael Berger, was a songwriter, and he died tragically of a heart attack, and then their daughter died a few years later, cystic fibrosis, and then France Gale passed away a couple of years ago of breast cancer. But, on the other hand, these crows, or birds, seems like they're making a nest out of leaves. You see? Oh my god, oh, it's a rapper. Oh my god, look at that. You know, fly it off and make a nest out of it. Pesky crows. And here we are. I remember it like it was. It's like a prison. I was like, a prison, not a prison. It's a prison, yes. France Gale, Michael Berger, Nee Hamburger, and Pauline Hamburger. One family all buried together. See, the grave has changed a lot in the last 30 years, because basically it just used to be like a bunch of scrubs saying Michael Berger, but then after they buried Pauline and France Gale, they did this plot up and turned it into a prison. The Advertising Bureau of Mayotte, which is in the Indian Ocean next to Comoros. Like, Comoros actually claims Mayotte as their own, but the people of Mayotte want to remain French.